You're listening to an AppleVis podcast.
Hey, AppleVisers, Tyler here, with a demonstration and walkthrough of Safari web apps on macOS. This refers to a feature that allows you to create what are essentially shortcuts to websites on your dock that, when opened, behave as if they were distinct apps. This may be useful for several reasons besides just another way to quickly and conveniently access a website. Because these web apps are contained in their own window and process, you can command tab to them as if they were any other app. So, for example, if you have apps like Mail and Pages opened and you're working in between them and a website you use frequently, you can command tab between them without needing to go into Safari and use Control Tab to switch between browser tabs or Command Accent to switch between browser windows. If you're coming over from Microsoft Windows, Command tabbing may feel more familiar because it's more familiar to Alt tabbing and the behavior on Windows, where when you Alt tab, it switches between windows rather than open apps. In addition, you can create a command in Keyboard Commander that, when pressed, will open this web app as if it were just another app. And yes, you can do this without needing to create a website shortcut. You can use the Shortcuts app to create a shortcut to open a URL, specify that URL, and then go into VoiceOver Utility and map a keyboard command to that shortcut. But some users find the Shortcuts app intimidating, and so if that's the case for you, you may find that creating a website shortcut in the dock and then mapping it to a keyboard command in Keyboard Commander that way is easier than having to create a whole separate shortcut. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to go into Safari and create a web app shortcut for applevis.com. So I'm going to open Safari with a keyboard command I have.
Safari, start page, window, toolbar.
Go to AppleVis.
Location. PPL AppleVis, https://www.applevis.com, AppleVis web content.
Okay, here I am on AppleVis. So I'm going to choose Add to Dock from the File menu, VLM.
Menu bar, Apple.
F for File.
File, menu, new window, Command N.
A for Add to Dock.
Add to dock, ellipsis. AppleVis web dialog button. Add to dock. An icon will be added to your dock and Launchpad so you can quickly access this website.
Okay, so now I'm in the Add to Dock dialog. So if I VO global left arrow to jump to the top.
Image.
VO right.
Add to dock. Button.
And this button, at the time of recording, October 2023, it's unlabeled, but this is the button that you would use to create a custom icon. So if I VO right again.
AppleVis, content selected, edit text.
That's the website name. You can change this if you want, but I'm just going to keep it as AppleVis. You may want to change this in particular for websites that have very long names, but AppleVis is named quite concisely, in my opinion. So I'm going to VO right again.
https://www.applevis.com/ content selected, edit text.
And that's the URL. I'm going to leave that as it is. VO right.
An icon will be added to your dock and Launchpad so you can quickly access this website.
VO right again.
Cancel button.
And again.
Add default button.
Add. VO space on this to add it.
AppleVis web content.
And now my shortcut has been created. So I'm going to get out of Safari now.
Close window. Quit Safari. Finder. Desk.
And I'm going to go to the dock with VOD.
Finder. Open. 1 of 29. Actions available.
And I'm going to press left arrow to jump to the bottom and work backwards.
Trash. 29 of 29. Downloads. Text edit. VoiceOver Utility. Dictionary. AppleVis. 22 of 29.
Here we are.
Actions available.
AppleVis. VO space.
Finder. AppleVis web content.
So here I am, AppleVis web content. And this window is quite simple. So if I VO right.
AppleVis web content.
That's it, because AppleVis web content is the only real content in the window. If I VO left.
Toolbar.
You have a toolbar. If I VO left again.
Full screen button. Actions available.
It's just the window controls. Full screen, minimize, and close. So I'll VO right.
Toolbar.
And in this toolbar, there are only 3 items. So interact.
In toolbar. 3 items. \forward group.
That's \forward. You interact again. You have a back and forward button. VO right.
AppleVis. Website name.
AppleVis.
Share button.
And the share button. So that's all that's in this toolbar.
Share button.
I'll stop interacting. VO shift up arrow.
Out of toolbar.
And VO right.
AppleVis web content.
And here I am on AppleVis web content. I'll interact.
Link. Skip to main content. Banner. Visited. Link. AppleVis. Heading level 1. Welcome to AppleVis.
And here I am on AppleVis. I can do pretty much anything I can do in Safari in this web app. I can use all the same browsing and navigation commands, and I can use sign-in credentials that I have saved for this website in iCloud Keychain, as well as other websites. I can access anything from any web app using iCloud Keychain because it's basically an extension of a website in Safari. If you want to change settings for a web app, you can press Command, comma, and change settings like website name, icon, and privacy settings. So now that I've demonstrated an overview of what the web app experience is like, I'm going to quit out of it now.
Close window. Finder, desktop.
And I mentioned earlier that you can create a command in Keyboard Commander to open an app, so you don't even have to use the dock if you don't want. So to do this, I'm going to go into VoiceOver Utility, and when creating a command, I'm going to point it to where the file, the shortcut file, actually lives, which is in the Applications folder in your Home folder, which is separate from the Applications folder that you know at the root of your startup disk, the one you'd get to by pressing Command-Shift-A. So I'm going to open VoiceOver Utility now with VO F8.
Opening VoiceOver Utility,
And press Command-8 for Commanders.
Commanders.
And VO right to the Keyboard tab.
Trackpad, Numpad, tab, Keyboard tab, selected. Quick Nav tab.
Do some more VO right.
Enable Keyboard Commander. Use right option Keyboard Command. C. Oh.
Okay, so now here I am in the Keyboard Commander table. I'll VO right again.
Add button.
Add. And I got no feedback, but I am in the text field where I can type the key that I want to map the command to.
A.
A.
Keyboard Commander, tip into C. A.
A.
Menu button. A. Menu button.
If I VO right menu button, I'm going to choose it to open application AppleVis. So I'm going to VO space on this menu button.
Menu.
Up arrow to custom commands.
Custom commands. Submenu. Custom commands. Submenu. Open application ellipsis.
Open application.
In dialog. Open list view table.
And by default, it opens at the applications folder at the root of your startup disk. But I'm going to point it to the applications folder in my home folder. So I'm going to press Command-Shift-H.
List view table.
And A.
Applications folder.
Return.
List view table. AppleVis application.
And AppleVis. Press return again.
Open application. AppleVis menu button.
And here I am. I've just created that command.
A. Open application. AppleVis menu button.
Now, when I demonstrated this before, I tried creating a command, and at first it seemed like it hadn't worked because I quit VoiceOver Utility, and when I went back in, it appeared as if the command had not been mapped to any letter. So the command was there to open application AppleVis, but for some reason the letter A didn't stick. I don't know if that's a bug or what the deal with that is, because then when I created the command again, it did work. So maybe it's trial and error. I don't know, but I'm going to quit VoiceOver Utility and jump back in.
Finder.
And I'll jump back in now. Let's hope for the sake of this recording that it did save.
Opening VoiceOver Utility. VoiceOver. Commanders. Trap numpad. Keyboard. Tech. Select quick enable use. Right off keyboard. A. Open application. AppleVis menu button.
Okay. A. Open application AppleVis. It looked like it did save that time, which is good. So I'm going to quit out of VoiceOver Utility now.
Finder.
And I'll try executing that command.
AppleVis window. AppleVis web content.
And here I am on AppleVis with just by holding the right option key and A, it took me right there. And if I press Command Tab,
Finder.
AppleVis. So I can quickly jump between apps or web apps in this case with Command Tab. Much easier in my opinion, especially if I have multiple browser tabs opened, much easier than pressing Control Tab in Safari or using Command Accent for browser windows. So that's a demonstration and walkthrough of web apps using Safari on macOS. Not a revolutionary feature by any means. They are websites after all, and other browsers have been able to do this for a while now. But if you use Safari, it can be a nice quality of life enhancement to create simple versions or simple shortcuts to websites that open in their own windows so you don't have to deal with multiple browser tabs or feel like you're working in one crowded browser app. I hope you found it helpful. Peace.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of applevis.com for the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device. Visit www.applevis.com.